Hi, all. So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about women in the workplace and especially Black women in the workplace. So, I'm sure that you all have seen just a few of the news stories about the vetters for Joe Biden and how they had leaked stories about how they thought Kamala Harris was too ambitious and wanted to be president, which I thought if you wanted to be VP, you're supposed to step into the role on day one. So shouldn't she want to be president? But um, setting that aside, it really made me think about women in the workplace and how we're perceived and how men aren't subject to the same treatment. So, just thinking about myself personally, I've always been an ambitious person and I've always um, looked to better myself so that I can take that next step. That's always been who I am. I've never really been satisfied just being in one position for the rest of my life. I recognize that there are stepping stones, but I recognize once I hit those milestones and hit those achievements that I should be able to move to the next step. That's part of the reason I do enjoy sales is because it's very metric driven. It's not based on somebody's view of you. If you hit your metrics and you hit them consistently, then you should be able to move on to the next step. With that being said, as a woman in the workplace, it's extremely frustrating and galling because we've heard this. As we've heard this throughout our career. Just wait your turn. It's not your time yet. You need to put in a little bit more work. You need to, strive a little bit harder. You need to do these things. Meanwhile, we see men that get promoted quickly or promoted without the same skill set or promoted based on their connections with people in various fields or various parts of the company that we weren't privy to or we didn't have access to. And some of the ways that we see this manifest itself is, you know, sometimes you see like golf games. A lot of times women are really locked out of those places. Those aren't traditionally networking opportunities that women are invited to. It's usually men that go golfing and don't necessarily invite women. And so that's a time where they can connect with people in power and have those discussions and develop different types of relationships. Um, Other ways that we're sort of seen as being too ambitious, but it's never really said as too ambitious. It's saying, oh, they're a bit aggressive, they're demanding, they can be a ball buster. And these are just other types of microaggressions that we see and hear when we are looking to move on to the next level in our companies or in our own industries that men don't necessarily hear. And then as a Black woman, sometimes it's a double-edged sword, and it really goes back to that intersectionality because we are not only having to fight sexism, but we are also having to fight our race and those perceived notions of Black women maybe being hard or mean or no nonsense, which is another way of saying aggressive. So it just really kind of made me think about all the different ways and terms that women get called and get pushed down when we're looking to really just go after the same piece of the pie that men are, but we're looked at in a different way than men are.